this year. And this would be an opportunity for us to have various discussions around the involvement of girls in ICT, how we can bridge the gender gap in tech, and how to get more stakeholders and make the right investment for girls' involvement in ICT. So I welcome our guests, Zara Haba. I also welcome Ayobami Ayoade, and we welcome Maria. Thank you for joining us. We also welcome Aisha. Thank you for joining us. And without further ado, we'll get on to it in a few minutes. In about 3 minutes, we'll get on to it and begin the conversation. Thank you. All right, welcome back, and thank you once again for joining us. And without further ado, we would want to welcome the co-founder of Brainiacs STEM and Robotics, Zara Abba, to give us the opening remarks and open today's event. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I upside down?
Yes, you are. I will send you.
I don't know. How do we do this?
Okay, just hold on. Are you using an iPhone?
No, I'm using my
Android.
laptop.
Okay. I'll
Laptop.
send you on private chat now. You're using your laptop?
Yeah, this is
no.
strange. Okay, this is a digital skill I don't have.
Okay.
Change this.
Just hold on. Let me walk you through it.
All right.
Bit. Okay, so go to your video setting. That is on the part that you have to activate.
Video setting. I've seen that.
Then click the arrow facing upwards, and then click video settings. Yes, that's perfect. We are good.
Excellent. See, you just need one small skill and someone that knows, and you're good to go. Okay, good afternoon, everybody, the distinguished speakers, the facilitator, and our guests. So on behalf of Brainiacs, STEM and Robotics, I'm honored to be here today to observe the International Day for Girls in ICT. And this year's theme is very important, digital skills for life. Because it's important because we're living in a world where technology has become an integral part of our lives, be it from online communication to e-commerce, education. Technology has transformed totally the way we live and work and interact with each other. And also digital skills have become critical to achieving personal and professional success in today's world. So having digital skills in our lives and within the workplace is no longer an option, but it is necessary. That's why, as an organization, Brainiac STEM and Robotics is committed to equipping the next generation of young people with the skills they need to thrive in today's and the future of the workplace. So as today we reflect on the critical role that technology and digital skills play in the lives of young people, especially girls. One thing I would like to note is the statistics that has shown that up to secondary school, girls tend to outperform boys. However, they're left behind in further education and even in top positions in employment. And this could be for many reasons, which we'll talk about today. But these discussions are very important because they bring out the relevance of encouraging and empowering girls to develop the skills they need to thrive in this increasingly digital world. And, you know, as they say, if you educate a girl, you're educating the whole community. So I open the floor for the discussions in this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Ava, for your for the opening remarks. It's quite good to see the amount of work that is going into getting more girls involved in tech. In fact, one of the experiences I had when I was in university was we had a very few number of ladies in my class. I actually studied engineering, and at the point I was wondering why was that, you know, and I realized that when growing up, there was always this apathy for girls getting involved in the sciences and in engineering as well. And the same thing is happening with tech now, you know, and so bridging that gap is very important and knowing how to catch them young. And so we'll just have a brief discussion, and then from there we're going to take it from there and then introduce our guest briefly. And so thank you, Maria, for joining us. Thank you, Ayobami, for joining us. It's nice to have you here with us. And we'll be introducing our speakers for today. And our speakers, Ayobami Ayoade, she is a talent acquisition specialist. She's a talent acquisition specialist in the fintech industry. Our specialization is in long-term talent acquisition strategies, recruiting and onboarding, people development, and employee engagement. Ayobami is passionate about building global teams and increasing company-wide productivity. She engages in conversations that are about how talents can stay engaged at work, develop their skills, and position themselves for future employment and opportunities. It's great to have you here with us, Ayobami Ayoade. You're muted.
Thank you so much, Akinola. Thank you, everyone, for having me.
Nice to have you. Thank you. And our next guest for today and our next panelist is Maria Okay, your surname is, I had to try to teach myself to know how to pronounce it. Welcome you, Maria Voskania. I hope I'm correct.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right.
Great.
Maria Voskania is an experienced UI and UX designer and brand strategist who has been working remotely since 2019. With a passion for technology and a deep understanding of the importance of empowering women in the field, she has founded a Web3 Women's Space, a community dedicated to providing education and support to women looking to enter the tech industry. Thank you for joining us, Maria, and we are pleased to have you join us today. And the next speaker and panelist for today is our honorable co-founder and also the initiator of what we are doing today. Her name is Zara Abba. She's currently pursuing a doctorate degree in energy system strategy, focusing on risk management at Cranfield University, UK. She is a chartered chemical engineer and project management professional with over 16 years of experience in the energy sector. Her experience spans across project and contract management and process and flow assurance engineering in Shell, Nigeria. She also has a master's in chemical engineering from the University College London, UK. Zara is also the co-founder of Brainiac STEM and Robotics and a strong advocate for girls in STEM. We are pleased to have you, our honorable host for today. Thank you for joining us. All right. And so we would move forward into the discussion. And before the discussion, we would want Zara Abba to give us an introduction into our focus discussion for today.
Okay, so today we're commemorating the World ICT Girls Day. And in our discussions, we're going to have a panelist session where we discuss various questions around digital skills and and how girls can have equal access to ICT and STEM. So I combine ICT and STEM because they go hand in hand. We're also going to talk about what are the barriers that are affecting inclusiveness of ICT for girls, and also what kind of strategies can be adopted to encourage girls to go into ICT and STEM. As we know, one of the SDGs, which for quality education, is around encouraging girls gender parity in STEM education and also ICT. So this particular theme, digital skills for life, is particularly important with this regard. And I hope our discussions will cover these sessions. I don't know if we're going to have questions as well from audience. I'm not sure about that. So yeah, that's really the meat of the discussions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Zara. And so we'll go into the discussion as soon as we can, and our first question will go to Ayobami. Ayobami being someone that is a talent acquisition specialist, and I know she's quite aware of most of the skills that is required to break into that field. So Ayobami, what are the digital skills required to excel in the 21st century ICT space?
Thank you, Akin, for that question, and thank you everyone for listening. So in the ICT space, we have a couple of digital skills that are needed, and I will just be mentioning a few. And first of all, I would say the most required skills is communication, because in every field that you find yourself, you need to be able to communicate, right? There are different skills that are needed and there are different jobs out there, but the most important skill is communication, because for you to even get the job, you need to be able to communicate effectively. But aside communication, I would say that some other skills that are needed in the ICT space right now, and even in STEM, cut across digital marketing. So there's the digital marketing skills that is needed out there, and there are jobs that are out there for digital marketers. There is also the brand storytelling. So you see some people that their job is just telling stories. They tell stories for brand, they tell stories for products, they tell stories about certain services, right? There's also content creation. Some people create content as a job, and it's a skill that can also be developed, right? And you can make money for that even from creating content. There is also community management. Some people might be curious to know, what is community management? It's just like a role that that manage people in a certain community. So you see that, or say there's a product or there's a brand that gives a certain service, and there is someone that manages that community. So there's community management as a skill, and there is also a job for community management. So there is product design, there is UX UI design, just like Maria, and there is software engineering, a couple of other roles, but these are just few that I can mention now.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ayobami. And that was quite insightful. Funny enough, there were certain skills I was expecting. Yeah, actually, it's because there's a frenzy about it at the moment. So there's the AI, data science. There's a lot of frenzy around
Actually.
At the moment. So I would like Maria to speak into those. What are the opportunities that are available for girls in the current skills that are springing up in the ICT space? Currently, we have a lot of AI platforms springing up here and there, doing different things. I noticed that there is an AI where you can create an image for something you want. You just give it instructions on what you want. So how would you say that what are the different opportunities that you feel are available to girls in these to girls and women? Because sometimes we try to look at girls, but again, I believe that there are a lot of women that are interested in tech at the moment, but because of the barrier and the stereotypes that comes with our environment, that this is for men, that's for women. Women are doctors, men are, or women are nurses and men are doctors, and all of those disparities that we get to experience. So what would you say are the opportunities available to girls and women at this stage, at this phase of ICT that we are in the current world?
Sure. First of all, I totally agree with Ayobami regarding the communication skills, soft skills. I just wanted to add, from the user experience designer, you can apply this to all the fields. Like, we should always think about our customer. We should put ourselves in our customer's shoes, and we should concentrate on the problem. Like, what problem we can solve with our product, service, that we are providing, right? Sometimes we tend to idealize our products, and we can't see any mistakes we are doing, or maybe the target audience is not the correct. So I would suggest to make a lot of iteration stages during the research, for example, right? When you are creating something, it doesn't matter, is it digital product or physical product, but now everything is a hybrid, right? And we just should be sure that we are applying all these skills so that we'll put our user, our customer, on the first place and think how we can solve the problem. This is the first thing I wanted to say. And now talking about the tech industry and girls in ICT and what is our place in this field. Of course, we all know that it's man-dominated field because technology, finances, like these two fields are mostly man-dominated. But it doesn't mean that there is no place for girls and women. I would say that during this 1 year, we increased the number of women in tech from 27 to 36%, and that's amazing. And if we see like how women are doing their job, they are just creative, they are multitasking, and they really provide the best user experience, let's say. And if we want the products to be very well developed, we should have women's perspective on the products, right? Because usually when men are creating something, they are creating this for men. And we need this mixture of ideas, mixture of views, mixture of experience to have like the best, like better products on the market. So I would say that I started as a creative. So I started as a designer, but during these 10 years of my career, I had a lot of communication with developers, with engineers, with Web3 and blockchain specialists. And all of them, like 90% of them were men and are men probably. And that's why I decided, why not? Let's create a community of women who want to enter the tech fields. And this community, let's say, and what is the problem actually? When you don't know something, you are afraid to go there. You think that it's very difficult. You think that you need a lot of experience to do it, but experience comes with your path when you are learning, right? So the most scary stage is to make a step and enter the field. And when you are there, when you have the community around you, and when you see the women who are really successful, who are in the leading positions and who are make an impact, of course, you see this on like from different perspective, and you understand that I can do it as well. So what we need today is like-minded community, is support of government, support of leaders in the industry to provide education, to provide like more resources like open source. Of course, we can find everything open source, but when you have someone who guides you, it's much, your way is simplified in this case, and it's much easier. So, and talking about tech, talking about AI, Web3, what's going on nowadays, we are on a very interesting stage, definitely, because we are stepping in something new that was like in 1995 when internet was like created. Like we are at the same stage right now, because with all these technologies, with Web3 technologies, with blockchain, with the artificial intelligence, extended reality, virtual reality, we have so many possibilities to create something great. And I think it's just a great period to start. And girls should be just should have this curiosity and should know that there is no limits. Gender barrier is nothing. So you can be anyone you want to be. And yeah, that's a thing. Like you should just change the mindset and go ahead, like follow your dreams and pursue your goals.
Yes, thank you very much, Maria, for that insightful that insightful perspective. And would ask the next question. The next question would be to Zara, and because she has done a lot of work around this as well, looking at our climb. Nigeria is such an interesting place. So how can we ensure inclusiveness of ICTs for girls? How can we ensure that there is a lot more inclusiveness for girls in ICT?
For our part of the world, we know that there are many barriers that are impacting access to ICT and also using ICT. And to ensure inclusiveness, we need to address some of these barriers and challenges. And I'll just mention some strategies. There are many strategies, but just some few that jump out at me. The first, I mentioned our part of the world, Nigeria, for example, because if you look at the country as a whole, we don't have access to digital infrastructure the way it should be so that we can leverage on ICT. Now, provision of access to these digital infrastructure, such as your devices, computers, internet connectivity, all that infrastructure should be available in both urban and rural areas. We find some in major urban areas, but for rural areas, some of them don't even have telecommunication, not to talk about internet connectivity. So that's the first step, but that would involve government intervention. That involves larger organizations to play some part, even if it's CSR, to equip these communities. But what can we do as individuals? And that links to the second barrier, which is that most girls are underrepresented, and some are discouraged from taking part in or being in ICT or STEM related professions. And we can start imbibing the maybe affinity for ICT and STEM right from the primary education through ICT classes, coding clubs in schools. We could also have even training and awareness for teachers. Some teachers don't have the basic ICT skills, and we can start with teachers, and teachers can pass it on to other students. So I talked about ICT classes and clubs, and as parents, we can also provide support and encouragement to our daughters to take part in ICT careers. Now that links to another issue, which is gender stereotyping. You talked about it before, that you have a lot of programs that say, oh, we need to encourage more girls, and that is because girls are generally discouraged from going for ICT and STEM subjects. In fact, not too long ago, I did an internship in a refinery in Nigeria, and one of the the older and senior engineers said to me, "Oh, why did you study engineering? You should have studied something more feminine." And at that time, I thought I was studying the most feminine engineering course, which is chemical engineering. To me, is the most feminine course. But it's really discouraging when you have people that are supposed to be enlightened discouraging girls. Yeah, so that's really unfair. It puts girls at a disadvantage. And then lastly, it's how we can ensure inclusiveness is to bring out people that have done well in the ICT and STEM sector, people that are someone like Maria, for example, that is, you know, a UI UX developer, we need to see people like that. And that brings, you know, that shows girls that, oh, I can be a girl and do this. I don't have to be a boy. I, you know, and I can be successful. So for them to see those role models in the society and have access to them, be it as a mentor or a coach, or just merely just seeing that they're there, would really help to include girls in the sector.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Zara, for that insightful, those insightful words. And to be honest, I strongly feel that the for this to happen, there's always that bottlenecks when it comes to government investment into education generally, not even the tech space. Education generally, there's that nonchalant attitude towards putting the right investments into education, and that that has a huge effect because just as you said, if you're trying to tackle one thing on one side, but you have chains of other things that could just stop you, and those are like the barriers that we get to face on a daily basis in our national life. And so the next question will be to Ayobami, and it will be, how do you think we can ensure equal access of ICT for the girls?
Thank you so much, Aki, for that question. So I think the first thing I would say is to increase diversity and inclusion, even in the workplace. Because the truth is, if we want to give ladies equal access to ICT, even in technology or in STEM at large, we need to make sure that the chances of them getting into the workplace increases. And even as the owner of a company or as a management, you're looking to bring in more female into the organization. And I think that in tech, it has increased over time. Right now in tech, you see companies looking to hire more females. And that is why we also need to equip this female for future employment, because the truth is, it is growing. We're getting to the stage whereby more companies needs more female. And if as at now, we're encouraging more female to get into tech, into ICT, it also helps us, right, with inclusion and diversity as well. The other thing I would also like to say to ensure equal access to ICT is promoting a good work-life balance, because we as females or as ladies, we do so much, right? And we might even want to get into tech, but we're thinking family, we're thinking ourselves, we're thinking our children, and we're also thinking work. So if there is a path there, or if we can promote work-life balance, it would also encourage women to get access to ICT, right? Because they know that, oh, I can get a job, I can do well in my career, and I can also do well at home as a female, right? That's like one thing that we need to ensure, just so that we have equal access to ICT as well. And the other thing is also creating like an open work culture. Most times we see that female want to do so much. Like we as ladies, we can do a lot, right? I'm one of those person that believe that as a lady, there's so much that I can do. There is so much that I can give, but I need that enabling environment around me. I need to see that I need to feel like, okay, in this particular place, you can give as much as you can without me limiting myself. And we need to create that kind of open culture, even in the workplace, right? We need to have the environments whereby as a lady, you have amazing ideas of how we can do this, and there's an open culture for you to speak about it, and nobody's going to shut you down that, oh, you don't need to talk about this, or because it is not your job. And I can see that is improving, right? I'm saying I can see that is because it's starting from my organization, whereby as a lady, you can feel free to speak up, right? If you see that we're doing something in a certain way and you think that it can improve better, you reach out to maybe your head of department or maybe someone on the management team to say, oh, I mean, I have this idea, I think we can do this better. And it would be a better place if across every aspect or every industry, this is also encouraged, because it gives the lady, or it gives us as ladies, equal access to opportunities, even in the ICT, right? And I would say that those are like the basic three things that I can say top of my head right now, which is very, very important.
Wow, thank you so much for that amazing perspective. And when you were talking about diversity and inclusion, what just came to mind was how in my place of work, I am more, I'm shuffling between the tech and the digital space. And when we wanted to hire for my team, I remember when I started working there was that thing about, this is not a work for women. Women can't survive here. But in the past 3 to 4 years, we've had 3 different women work on the team, and it's amazing seeing the bright insights they bring into our work, and also the different perspective they bring into all the things we do, and the hunger as well. The hunger, and also I feel it has to do with creating that support system as well, creating that support system for women to begin to be more open, about their ideas. Sometimes I feel what happens is because of the stereotypical nature, even when women work in such digital or tech spaces, they feel, oh, these guys are men and I'm a woman, so if I talk, nobody will listen to me. So we need to begin to find ways to break that barrier. For me, this is more like a lesson. So because I lead a team myself, so I'm beginning to think, in what ways can I improve openness, women being open about their ideas, being open about the different perspectives they have about the different things we do. So thank you so much, Ayobamide, for sharing with us. And the next person we'll be bringing up shortly to answer our next question is Maria. And so the next question is, what form of partnerships do you think must be developed as regards to girls in ICT? So what do you think are the types of partnership? Here we are today. We have the co-founder of Brainiacs here. We have the amazing Maria as well. And then we have Ayobamide. And what do you think? I think this is a question for all of us, including myself. So what do you think are the types of partnership that has to be created and developed, or if there is one that is ongoing that can be improved upon as regards to getting girls involved in ICT?
Sure, that's an amazing question, because partnerships usually are the key to success, and creating a partnership with the companies, with private sectors, with organizations that resonates with your vision, let's say. I will tell you on my example, right? So I founded Web3 Women Space, and what was the next step? I just started to look for the organizations, non-governmental organizations, let's say, that are doing something similar, that have the same values, who has the same values, who are providing educational content for women, and not only for women, but who are mostly focused on the women. So what I did, I started to communicate with one of the biggest women in tech community worldwide. Actually, women in tech, this is a huge community of females all around the world. It was founded in 2018, and this community makes a great impact on the world, especially with helping females to transit to technology. And I would say that organizations like these, they are very supportive. They are very empathetic, and they want to share. They want to have more like-minded people around, surround them. And of course, it's very important if you have like partnerships with government sectors, with universities. And in my country, for example, I'm from Georgia, country Georgia, and I see this development that a lot of universities are adding these tech fields to their faculties. They are partnering with technology associations that increases the knowledge of technology, and people are more likely to enter the tech field when they hear it. You know, there is in design, in marketing, there is the rule of 5 touches. When you see the advertisement, for example, 5 times somewhere, you are familiarizing with this advertising, and it's not that unusual, and it's not that scary to become a user or like the customer, right? So the same is with tech fields. You should understand what does this mean, and partnerships. Even our webinar right now, it's based on the partnership, right? So we decided to unite and to share our knowledge. So by sharing the knowledge is only in this case we can make an impact. And environment is a key, as you said, and I agree. But now, even if we are not feeling that we are in the right environment, because there is no right or wrong, you should create your own environment. Especially talking about tech, talking about virtual spaces, that a lot of virtual spaces are very inclusive and they are very like friendly, and people, I talk with a lot of girls and they are telling me that I found such a great Twitter space, and I'm joining the Twitter space every week and I feel so motivated. I gain so much knowledge from people who are speaking, and it gives you opportunity to speak up, to raise your voice, to understand in which direction you want to go, because you see that you are not alone. A lot of people are like you, and it gives you the, like, let's say, wings to go and to follow your steps in the career. And yeah, talking about the partnership, I think with the partnership, we are creating a very great possibility to I would say partnerships are the key in terms of develop our product. And if we want to be useful, if we want to make an impact, it's very important to pay attention on this. And if you are an individual, like if you are not a company, but you are an individual making an impact, don't be afraid to reach out to someone and to ask for a partner with them. So you will, the scariest thing that you can get, it's no, right? But what if you will get yes answer? What if the response will be positive? Think about this, because usually we think about negative things, and that's what are stopping us from creating something, from going ahead. But what if there is yes answer to our question? Think about this.
Thank you very much, Maria, for the for this great insight into partnerships that must be created and developed to get more girls involved in ICT. And so I would want to have Zara share with us or what types of partnership do you think that we need to create and develop to get more girls involved in ICT, and also not just get them involved, but to get them grounded, because
one of the things you shared that else came to mind for me because I work in the media space, and so I can say one of the things that shapes our environment is media. The media shapes everything we do. It shapes what we buy. It shapes how we think. It shapes where we go. It shapes what we do with our lives. And so I was going to share that are there some form of storytelling, some form of messaging around the amazing work women are doing in not just tech, but in STEM generally. Are there certain form of opportunities or platforms that are available for where these stories are being told about what women are doing, the challenges they face? Because I feel sometimes in a bit to want to sound really good and put our best foot forward, we don't get to talk about our challenges more. We tend to talk about our successes. And I feel those challenges could serve as strength for girls that are going through some form of stereotyping in their space of function, either in their work or in whatever they are doing. So, what would you say are the various means to create a form of an open space for these stories to be told and to inspire girls and to inspire women to not just be involved in tech, but to be grounded?
Absolutely. I think I agree with you. We need to tell our stories more and better to create the visibility that is required to encourage others and to also tell others that are facing difficulties that, other people have been there and it can be succumbed. So definitely we should be telling those stories. How we tell them, there are many avenues to do that. Of course, we have the social media, we have blog posts that can be done to do this. We also have communities, and that's where the partnership comes in that we were talking about before. Now, through partnerships that you foster within those tech communities, you can tell your stories and you can learn from others. And from there, you can also disseminate information to a wider audience that are like-minded, and also encourage others. In Brainiacs, we have the Women in STEM initiative, which looks at challenges women have within the STEM community and to provide really support for one another. And I think those kind of avenues are which we could, disseminate our success stories and our challenges. Additionally, there are other programs such as mentorship programs that our sister organization, Skills After Schools, they run some mentorship programs for primary school and secondary school, as well as some university students, to help them, tap in from people that have been successful within the sectors they want to go into, and also to obtain internships. And I think those are probably the key areas where we can leverage on partnerships, as well as also, disseminate our successes to the wider communities.
Thank you very much, Dara, for sharing this with us. It's good to know that this partnership is already in place, and it's also important to look for different ways to frame them up And we are all here to support each other. We are here to support each other to make that happen. And so our next question and final question for the day will go to Ayobami. And this is for us. We are trying to intrude into our space a little bit. And she being a talent acquisition specialist, that means she is quite familiar with the different form of ways in which women see themselves when it comes to the tech space. And so I just want to ask Ayobami, what is that one thing you've heard from? All right. So what is that one thing you've heard from your experience that in terms of when maybe you're shopping for a particular talent for a particular tech role, what was that one thing you heard that was like, oh, a woman shouldn't think that way, you're more than this? So what's that one thing?
Okay, so just so I understand the question, so you're trying to ask me, have I been in a certain situation whereby I am asked why I am sourcing for this role or why I'm applying for it? I just want to get context. I know how to answer it.
Yeah, either for you or for people that women you get to interact with for tech jobs. So what is that from that kind of stereotype that the environment has placed over on women already that plays out even in that space?
Okay, actually, I would say that it's quite a number of them, and I have also experienced it as well. And the first thing is applying or wanting to be in leadership position. So I remember at some point in my career, I felt I was supposed to be doing more than I was doing at the time. So I could give more, but I was still in a certain position. So I spoke about wanting to move position or just try something new, because I consider myself to be a generalist, whereby I could do different things because I have the capacity to do so, but I am still specialized in a particular role. So at the point, I wanted to move position, and I got the idea of why do you want to go to this position? Have you done enough in this certain position? But based on results, you can see that I am doing well in this position and I would love to do more. But then the idea that I got at that point was you should still stay here, groom yourself, and then you can now say you want to move up the ladder, right? And another thing I think ladies struggle with, right? And because I have worked as a recruiter and still working as a recruiter, some ladies do not know how to, I'll use the word negotiate when it comes to salary, right? In the workplace, it even happens whereby two people are applying for a role, and this is something that has happened to me and even someone close to me, and I've also seen that happen to some of the talents that I recruited for or that I've recruited, whereby they are applying for a certain role, but they are requesting for a pay that is lesser than what they could actually get. To say that there is this role and there's a guy that's applying for this role requesting for say $1,000, and as a lady you're applying for that same role, your job description is still the same, but you are requesting for something lower. So at the point I have to, so when we interviewed the both of them, and we see that based on the experience and the results of the assessments that were given to the both of them, the lady is more deserving for the role. However, there was a budget for the role, but she was requesting for lesser, right? I have to let her know. I would say that I'm one of those good recruiters, because if you're good and you should get the salary, I would definitely let you know that this is the budget. If you're going above the budget, then I can let you know, okay, this is the budget for this role and you should stick to this budget. So I have to let her know that, okay, this is the budget for the role. You're requesting for lower, but this is what you actually deserve. And I think it's high time that as ladies, we need to be able to know what we are deserving of. And it's not just about requesting for a certain amount. You have to be very good at your job. You have to be very skilled. So when you're requesting for this amount, or when you are requesting for this role and this opportunity, you can show results. I'm very result oriented, and I appreciate ladies that do the same, because it's much more easier when your work can speak for you. So when you're requesting for this salary range, or you're requesting for this promotion, your work can speak for you. Without you even talking about it, your work is already speaking for you. So that those are some of the things that I've experienced, just to mention a few. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Ayobami, for this insightful uh, perspective. Also, it is also to help Zara and Maria to get to know what is out there for the ladies, and know how they begin to groom these girls, especially to know how to negotiate better. You know, even in our political space, we have all of those where people just say, you know, it's a woman, it's only a man that can lead Nigeria. And we even saw that play out in the last election, even though it's not about a woman. A lot of things just have to do with how we get to negotiate, and how we get to also do enough work that is visible to us. Till tomorrow, I'm still looking forward to an Okonjo-Iweala presidency. I'm still looking to Arauma Ote presidency. I'm still looking to Obieze Ekwesili. She tried once, you know, but Nigeria is just a funny place. To be honest, Nigeria is just a funny place. But we do hope and we do believe, and that's why we are having this discussion today. We do hope and believe that things will change, and we'll get to everybody. We get to build a society where there is more inclusion, there is more diversity, and more equity and equality as well. And also looking at the most disadvantaged gender in this case, girls and women. And we all have to put our hands on deck to ensure that we get to put in the work that makes this a reality in our national life as a nation. And so that will be all for our panel discussion, and we'll just go straight up into our into the Q&A section. So we believe that everyone has been hearing us. I know we are currently live on YouTube, and would want to get your questions. What are the questions that you have for our panelists before they go? We can't say we've enjoyed today's session without us asking Maria questions around Web3 and blockchain. Ayobami questions around, how can I get a role? I want to be a taxist myself. I want to be a taxist, you know. So let's even begin to normalize that there's something like taxist. So, you know, and then also Zara about how to get involved in the various work they are doing at Brainiac to make this a reality. So we'd like to get your questions, and this will be for the next 3 to 5 minutes. And we do hope to get some questions. Now, Fatima, do you have any questions there? All right, we have a question. Okay. All right, go ahead, ma.
I actually have a question for Ayobami. Is a request, not a question, and I think maybe we'll be contacting you. It's really wonderful to see a lady, you know, telling another lady that, look, you know, you could ask for more, because we don't support each other as much as we should. And I was not to put you on the spot, but I think we'll be contacting you to see if we can do a masterclass on, you know, on applying for these kind of roles and how to get the best from negotiations and interviews. So I think that's something that would be coming to you, please.
That's absolutely fine. How we can.
Thank you.
All right. So partnerships already happening. I'm happy. All right. So, do you have any questions? Fatima is no longer here. So, let's hope we get some questions in the next few minutes. We are waiting. All right. We have Zara Mohammed here, and you can go ahead. If you can, please turn on your video. We would like to have you on set. So if you can, do turn on your video. You can go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Zara. It's nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much for this interesting session. I must say it's a very interesting one. My question goes to, is it Ayomide? Yeah. So for a fresh, yeah, Ayobami, thank you. For a fresh graduate, whereby you are asked to like indicate your expected salary, how much do you expect? How do you go about it?
Okay, so for a fresh graduate, I want to assume that you just finished university and you just finished your NYSC service. And if you're requested for a salary range, one thing that you should know, or one thing that you should do, is a research of the industry you're getting into and how much the people in that position, mostly it will be entry level, how much they earn, right? And also based on your skill as well. So you, before you apply for the job or before you got to the final stage of interviewing and salary negotiation, you would have gone through the JD, what is expected of you, and the skill that you have for that role. So first thing I would say is make a research of the market in the industry and how much entry level for that industry they earn, and also the skill that you can offer for the role as well. How much you think, I mean, we as individuals know how much we should be able to earn, if not exactly how, but if as at the way I am right now, there is a certain amount I think I should earn. I could earn more, but at least there's a certain I know that as at now I cannot go less than, right? That way you can then judge. And another thing that you should keep in mind is that some of these companies also do have budgets for the room, but doesn't mean that you should not be able to ask for more, but you should also be able to have a bandwidth that, oh, I cannot actually go lesser than this. Keeping it in mind that you must actually have the needed skills required for that role, and you must have the experience or the ability to learn on the job as well. So I would not say you say a specific amount that you're not sure of. The first thing is to do your research, right? Ask if they do have like a company budget, and also have like a range in your mind that you cannot go less than, or something that you can also work out as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ayo Bamide. Do you have any questions? Let me see. Let me see on YouTube and see if you have anyone here for us. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay. All right. Seems we don't have any questions on YouTube. Okay, Zara, you still have something to ask? We can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, okay, this is a quick one, please. This one I'm requesting I'm requesting you guys to give advice to parents who think that technology stuff is for male rather than female. So just to advise them that they can go for it, especially in the northern part. So, I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. I know Zara got Zara.
So just
Okay. Go ahead, Zara. Go ahead. You still have something to say? All right. So Zara, these are put you on the spotlight. So what do you think could be done to actually for the north? I can actually relate. So because I also grew up in the north for most part of my life. So I'm still in the north, even though it's the federal capital territory. But so what do you think can be done with regards to this? What do you think? What form of advocacy will be required?
With a culture is a different thing to break, right?
Yeah.
I think it's basically continue creating the awareness, continue telling the good stories, because there are good stories and there are bad stories, and people learn about bad stories more, and they tend to use those experiences to shape, the future of their children, which is really unfair. I come from a family of 7 girls, and I remember right from my mom was a teacher, and she said even if she has to sell all her gold, all her wrappers, her kids must go to school, and they must go to, really good schools that, open opportunities for them. And she made sure, well, obviously she and my dad, with God's help, made sure that, they educated all their kids. And even within, direct, say, relations or family friends, you could see people that were not okay with that direction because they felt girls should play a certain role. And even those people are also benefiting from the fact that, these girls have been educated and they're giving back. And I think those are the kind of stories that we need to tell and to encourage others. Don't get the negative thinking that, oh, my child will go to school and, in quote, you know how they say, spoil. And then, they don't turn out the way you want them to turn out. So those, good stories you tell people, and obviously you tell them the challenges as well, because not everything is straightforward, right? And hopefully that will encourage more people to take their girl child to school, and hopefully even study the more stereotypically or traditionally male subjects. And I think it's not also just about studying, going to university and studying those skills. There are skills that you could still have and still maintain you can still stay home and do your work. In today's workplace, there's Ayobami talked about work-life balance. You have situations where you can work from home. So parents need to know that there are options for girls out there. It's not the traditional, oh, you go to work and you're mingling with other people, which is what the cultural part of the North, we don't like, girls mixing with the the other gender. So there are opportunities to stay home, keep a family and still work and fulfill your own, your own personal objectives. And also earn at the same time. You have that economic empowerment and you can empower others along the way. So that way it's a chain effect and we build an economy that is resource-based, not just, what we have currently in Nigeria. So yeah, I think that's where I would like to stop.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zara. In fact, we do have a lot of work to do. We do have a lot in our hands, and we need to roll up our sleeves and get the work going and keep doing the work. And so we have just the last and final question here for Maria. And the question is, what will be your recommendation for a woman who wants to transition into tech but not sure which skill or career path to start with?
Okay. So first of all, I would like to know from which background are you coming, if you can answer that. If not that, I will bring my example. So I'm coming from design field. It's not that close to tech, but more or less like I can relate myself to tech field, right? If you're coming for, let's say, if you are a copywriter, or if you are a marketer, right, and if you want to step to the to tech field, you just have to understand, to know like what is the tech, because tech is a very broad, right? So you should make the list of the niches and understand what is closer to your maybe background, right? Because if you are a marketer, you can be a community member, a community builder or community manager in the tech company, or you can be a marketer in Web3 company, right? So I would recommend to link your career to tech fields that are more or less related to you, because from this entrance, like you will enter the tech field very smoothly, and afterwards when you enter the field, you will understand what is more like related to you, like what in which niche do you see yourself. For example, right now I entered the tech as a designer, like then I transited to UX design and UI design, user interface. Then I transited to UX. Then I started to dig deeper and became a UX researcher. From that, I started to be more in touch with developers, and I was introduced to Web3, like Web3 industry, blockchain technology, and I found myself on the stage where I am like, okay, now I know design, I know like UX part, I can create the digital products, I can be good at marketing, I can be good at communicating, and I can create a community. So I can be a community builder or community manager. And knowing the technology, let's say maybe the blockchain technology, now you can be not only UX designer, but you can be a blockchain UX designer. So that means that you can create products for Web3 companies, for blockchain-based companies. So this is a very interesting journey. And it doesn't mean that you should just decide that, okay, now I should be like a developer, front-end developer, and that's it. Like I have this goal. No, you are just you should be curious. Just be curious and research more, educate yourself. Now all the resources are so open, so you just need to have this curiosity and to understand what is in trend now, like where are we moving. To be informed, very important to know the trends, what the trends are on the market, because big companies are following all these trends, and knowing these trends, you will always be one step ahead, and that's very important, I guess. And just believe in yourself. Like, this is also very important. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Maria, for that the answer to this question. Well, something just comes to mind for me now. Are there different resource platforms that can be available that women and girls can begin to take advantage of? Maybe a learning platform where they can have those different tech skills they can learn from. So, do you have any in mind that you would like to share with us? Oh, Maria, the question is for you.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. So can you please like briefly repeat it? Just
Okay, so I was asking, are there various platforms that resources for these various tech skills can be learned? Zara on the comment section is already asking, can she get a place where she can learn blockchain? Maybe not maybe if in situations where they are to be paid for, maybe it's not going to, you won't have to break the bank, you know. So
of course.
what
Actually, yes. Yeah, it's there's plenty of resources and platforms that encourage people to learn blockchain, you know, because now the demand is high. All the companies like fashion brands, because fashion industry is the leading industry in blockchain, and gaming industry as well, and they are encouraging people to join, like to educate them, like people to with in blockchain technology. And a lot of big companies, I would mention, for example, Binance. They have an amazing blockchain academy, Binance Academy, that have amazing resources. Like, only going to this Binance Academy website and like take their courses, you will be informed about at least basics, and not only basics, I would tell you, because I myself experienced that. I started with Binance Academy, like learning blockchain. Afterwards, like LinkedIn Learning has very good courses in Web3, how Web3 can be useful in your business, etc. Community builders in Web3, and there is a website, web3.career, so you can go there and see the vacancies in Web3 companies. And from this, when you see the requirements they are asking, you can understand what the skills do you need to be a good fit for these vacancies, right? So, and if talking in my Web3 women space, we have like monthly webinars or live where we talk about careers in Web3 and how people can transit to Web3 and how they can what skills do they need to add to their experience to be a good fit for the career in Web3. And usually this is the basic knowledge of blockchain technology, of Web3 I would say follow the communities. Twitter Space is a great thing nowadays in Web3, because the main community in Web3 is on Twitter and on Discord, but Discord is more complex, I would say. Twitter is very open, so you can gain a lot of knowledge there. You can meet people from leaders. Actually, you can reach them out. You can talk to them. They are very open. They are very open to help you with resources, with the connections. Connections is the very important part. I would say go to, like, I would recommend actually to brush up your LinkedIn profile. If you want to start in tech and to to be successful in your career, start with social media, like package yourself as a personal brand, because nowadays we have our personality, and if you are not visible, it's impossible to reach out to people, to meet like-minded people, to partner, and when you have the background behind you, when you are, let's say, I'm telling this to the girls who are starting right now. Start with education. Go to Binance Academy, take these courses. They are providing NFT certificates when you finish the courses. Put in your bio that you have completed the courses in UX design, in blockchain basics, etc., and start building your personal brand. And you will see how entertaining is it from one side, because you are encouraging yourself to learn more. And yes, education is a key, I would say. And now there's a lot of resources. Like beside the Binance, there is like Milk Road newsletter, for example, that is giving you on a weekly basis the news, what is happening in the tech industry. Go to Women in Tech website. You will see a lot of amazing initiatives there. Women in Tech is supporting more than 2,100 females are all around the world. And by 2030, we are planning, because I am part of it, planning to encourage more than 5 million of females to enter the tech field. So surround yourself with such people and find the role model and just follow them. Kathy Hackle is a very good example of female. She is from Latin America, and she is a mother of metaverse, the godmother of metaverse, they call her. She is an amazing educator. She just going to the YouTube and listening to her, you will get a knowledge of what is Web3, what is blockchain technology, what is AI. Like nowadays, AI is a huge thing, and believe me, without AI, we would not imagine our
Okay, I thought the network glitch was from my end. I thought it was from my end. I was trying to restart my network. Okay,
No, it's not. It's not from your end. You're here.
Yeah. All right, let's hold on for Maria and hope she joins us. She joins us in a few moments. Just to add to what she said, the different platforms she shared, I think other platforms to look at also is Microsoft DevOps, where you get to learn about cloud computing. Then also Amazon currently have a learning platform as well. Uh, you know, and it's something that can be explored for women and girls. And then other thing that for web development, Code Academy is a good place to learn. And these are very amazing platforms as well. So Maria is back.
Yeah,
Maria
I'm
is
sorry,
back.
there is something
So,
with my connection.
all right. So you can just wrap up and then we call it a day. Maria, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, so I
Okay, so
hope
you can
you
just
heard at least.
wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that you should be curious and you should concentrate on education first. Go to the like open source internet and just find the resources that are very clear for you. For example, I found Binance Academy very clear for me. For example, I found user interaction design courses very interesting. I learned a lot there, and it's not about user experience, it's about design thinking, and it's about user interaction design, and it's all about like talking about technology. We should be familiar with, like, there is two kind of people. There is T-shaped people who are very professional in one skill, but know like different additional skills as well. And these T-shaped people are very, very in high demand in every profession because they are good at soft skills. They are, whether they are in tech or not, they may be a programmer, engineer, but if you are an engineer knowing design, a little bit communication management, community building, if you are good at design thinking, etc., you are one step ahead your let's say competitors on the market, right? Or the people who are in your niche. So just think about the education first, and after how you can apply this education to your background, or if you don't have any background yet, if you are like just graduating from the school, just understand for you, just explore and understand what I would like to do the rest of my life. So, and just go and just try to be useful, to create useful products. And only in this case, your skills will be appreciated. And a lot of people are scared about AI, and a lot of people are saying that, oh my God, AI will take away my profession. So, for example, copywriters are, or artists, they have very mixed feelings because they don't know if with AI they can be replaced, right? But what I see in this technology, in AI, so we should use this technology to create better products. This technology shouldn't replace us. It's only up to us how we will use it. So and this comes with knowledge. So if you dig deeper, if you pay attention on the topics and go deeper to understand how it works. So in this case, you will be confident and you will know how to use your skills, how to use your knowledge, and how to use technology to create better products for people.
Thank you so much, Maria, for these sharing these amazing resources with us, and we do hope that we get to take advantage of these various resources. Just one last question for you, Maria, and just help us to make it short because we've already and we know time is of the essence. However, we are yet to create a footprint for the future. And so the question is, in terms of applying your learning, how do you get the jobs with no real experience? Are there any remote internship roles that you know
Mm, Okay, of course, it's a little bit hard to apply for jobs with no experience at all, but it's possible. Like nothing is impossible, and we always start with the first job, right? That means that before that we don't have any experience in the previous job, let's say. But what you can do nowadays, like courses, educational courses, they provide very good practices. So during the course, you are working on the real products, or maybe not real products, but prototype of the products, right? So get involved in there is a lot of internships, there is a lot of hackathons, or like 3 weeks, for example, that will be dedicated on creating some products. And they need, there is a lot of resources they, and like communities, they open such kind of hackathons. And you can be a part of this hackathon. You can create a team and work on some products, and afterwards you can put this product, these services to your portfolio. Like we're talking about my students in the UX design, I always do that. Like during the 3 months of our educational course, we work on 3 different kind of products that the people, like my students, are creating, and we are going through all the processes from design thinking to research part to UI part, prototyping, of course, to interviews with real users. So that means that you should find the internship or short-term or long-term learning that provides these practical skills. With these practical skills, you will be confident enough and you will gain the knowledge to be able to find the real job. And that's not impossible. So you just should dedicate your time, 3 months or 6 months, to find such kind of opportunity. And there's plenty of opportunities in tech especially, and it's all, everything is online, so you are not linked to one place. You just should be curious again and just find such programs. You can reach me afterwards. I can share with you the links. Like you can follow Web3 Women's Space on Instagram, and we are providing all this information. I will be very welcome to help. I can type my email actually here. You can text me and ask me any questions related to such kind of projects or such kind of hackathons, or especially Web3 or UX design and or graphic design.
All right. Thank you very much, Maria. Thank you so much. And we've been joined by, so today we've been joined by Maria Boscania. She's a blockchain UX designer. And we've also been joined by Zara Abba, who is PhD candidate, Energy Systems and Strategy at the Cranfield University, UK, and she's co-founder of Brainiac STEM and Robotics. And we've also been joined by Hayobami Ayuade, who is a talent acquisition specialist. We would agree that today's session and discussion has been truly amazing, and it's been really engaging and enlightening. And it means that there's a lot of work to be done, and it requires the support of each and every one of us to ensure that we continuously create an all-inclusive environment, a equal environment, and that is driven by equity for girls across our world, and especially in our country, Nigeria, and also seeing opportunities to go above those big barriers that we've been able to uh, we've been able to talk about today and see how we can make the life of girls and women better in our world today. And so we really appreciate everyone for joining us, but we cannot go away without having the co-founder of Brainiac STEM and Robotics to give us a closing remark on and also, and then from there we're going to close the session for today. And we look forward to having you join us again subsequently. I look forward to having you again, Maria. It was such
Thank
an
you. It's a
eventful
great pleasure.
discussion. And thank you for sharing your perspective, the resources, and everything. We
Sure.
we would have hoped that we would have more time. We would have hoped that we have more time, but we know we are all doing really amazing work wherever we are. We have to go back to work, and we don't take it for granted that you joined us today at such a time like this. And so you have the floor, Zara.
Thank you. On behalf of Brainiac STEM and Robotics, I would like to say thank you to Maria and Ayo. I think Ayo has dropped off. And to you as well, fantastic facilitator. And I would like to thank also all the people that were able to join and the people that will be seeing it later, because I think it's going to be on YouTube. And yeah, so thank you for participating, and hopefully the discussion doesn't stop here. It will continue, and you know, with everyone's little bit, we will empower more and more girls and even boys to participate in ICT and STEM. So thank you very much. Discussion continues, as they say.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a great evening. Bye.